Welcome to the third and final part of my look at the many versions of He-Man. I've already covered all of the versions from the original line and from the new adventures of He-Man. Now I'm going to take a look at the most recent line of action figures. In 2002, Mattel relaunched the Masters of the Universe toy line. A brand new cartoon series debuted on TV that for the first time explained how He-Man first came to be. Along with this, a brand new line of toys was launched. He-Man had been reborn, and fans around the world were very excited. The very first version of He-Man we got was based off his new look in the cartoon. He-Man went back to his roots, with a bit of an update to try to attract today's kids. The biggest change occurred in the look of the Power Sword, but aside from that, he pretty much had all of the elements of our favorite hero from the 80s. He included the Power Sword, the Battle Axe, and a shield. He even had the classic Power Punch feature that all the originals had. This was the new look of the most powerful man in the universe, but it was far from the only version that we would get. Along with the launch of the line, we were also treated to a deluxe version of He-Man. Dubbed Battle Sound He-Man, this version included metallic armor that could be found in either gold or silver coloring. He also had a small button that, when pressed, played back a famous He-Man saying. There were actually two versions of this. The initial version had the voice of John Irwin, who was the voice of He-Man from the 80s cartoon.
I have the power!
The second version used Cam Clark, who voiced He-Man in the new cartoon series. Before 2002 was over, we got our first odd variation of He-Man. Jungle Attack He-Man was the first ridiculed variation of the line. He was often referred to as Rambo He-Man because of the bandana and the bow that was included with him. In 2003, we received the variation of He-Man that was most often accused of being the catalyst that started the downward fall of the line. Smash Blade He-Man was the same as the first He-Man figure that came out. The only difference is that he had a different paint deco and included a Smash Blade weapon that fit on his arm. This figure, along with Spin Blade Skeletor, was so overpacked in cases that it clogged store shelves for months. It became very hard to find any other figure from the line. 2003 gave us several other He-Man variants, including Martial Arts He-Man, Mega Punch He-Man, Shield Strike He-Man, Samurai Armor He-Man, Wolf Armor He-Man, several He-Man color variations, and Battle Armor He-Man. Every wave that came out included one or even sometimes two He-Man variations. One of my favorites from this bunch, though, was Ice Armor He-Man. Unlike most of the variants, this one actually made sense, as there was an episode of the cartoon where he wore this costume. Plus, instead of being just a lame repaint, we actually got a new sculpt, and a nicely done one too. Ice Armor He-Man included a translucent blue spear and a shield that could be used to sling translucent blue blades. This remains one of my favorite figures in the entire line. As 2003 drew to a close, so did the new Masters of the Universe toy line. The cartoon series had been canceled after just 1.5 seasons, which is a shame, because it really was a great show. And the line of toys just didn't catch on. Many collectors to this day blame the overpacking of He-Man and Skeletor variants in the cases. The final He-Man version we got was Snake Armor He-Man, which depicted He-Man in his new snake armor from the cartoon series, meant to help fend off the evil Snake Men. The figure included a power sword that was huge, because it included a rocket launcher gimmick on the inside. Unfortunately, this made it really hard for He-Man to hold the sword, as he would topple over forward because of the weight. Though it was the first He-Man figure to feature articulated elbow joints. It's a really nice figure, but it's also sad knowing that it was the last one. While many may blame the many versions of He-Man as the doomsday device of the 2003 toy line, the fact is that all of these figures were really cool, and the line itself was awesome, and all of us fans were really sad to see it go. The line did live on a little further with NECA's Staction toy line, but the truth of the matter was, He-Man toys were gone, again. At least until December of 2008. Where we will see He-Man return to all of our shelves with Masters of the Universe classics. This wraps up my look at the many versions of He-Man. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. Until next time, I'm Pixel Dan. Take care, everybody. Toy Talk!